these are some of the benefits that we think Open Active can bring to you as activity providers and the work that you guys do. So Open Active can increase the reach of your activities. It's free marketing, essentially. It allows you greater access to innovative solutions, so other people who are doing great things, building different activity finders, building different apps and so on. It gives you reach to those and access to those innovative solutions that might have been more challenging otherwise. It helps to ensure data quality, and I'll explain how that works in a little bit, but if you've got a timetable on your website at the moment and someone's scraping that data for a separate activity finder, it becomes out of date very quickly. If things change, they don't get updated, and the data is not of a great quality for the end participant. It allows your data to be updated and kept up to date everywhere that it can be published without you having to manually update it in 10 different locations, which I know for a lot of people who are delivering physical activities, they don't want to be spending their time doing that. They want to spend their time actually delivering their sessions. And it helps with the ability to target different, harder to reach audiences. So it helps you to not have to target every single audience that you're trying to reach. Other people can do that for you with their own tools, and you can feed into those. And I've grouped the benefits for data users and participants together. So data users, people who are building the apps, building the activity finders and the other things who want to use this data. And participants, the people actually going out there and participating in your activities. So what we're trying to get to is easy access to information, smooth and clean online booking and services, new innovative solutions, rewards and incentives, relevant information for what you're actually interested in, personalised experiences depending where you want to go and look for that data, tailored and relevant offers, and real-time response to the feedback and trends for the data users. So why are we doing this in the first place? We know that behaviour change is hard. We know that getting inactive people to become physically active is difficult. And it's probably one of the key challenges that we all face, trying to get people more physically active. And the way that we see that there are three key factors into influencing behaviour change. So there is capability, both physical capability and mental capability. Am I physically able to take part in a physical activity? And mentally, do I have the capacity to do that? Am I in the right headspace to be able to do that? And also, do I have the perceived capability? I might think that I'm not capable of something, but actually there are things that I'm able to do. Then there are the opportunities themselves. Are there things for me to go and do? Are they nearby to me? Are they relevant to what I want to do? Am I aware of those opportunities? So not just the actual opportunities, but the actual perceived opportunities as well. And then there's the motivation side, which is obviously one of the most challenging aspects of this. Why do I want to do an activity? Why would I do this activity instead of going to the cinema or putting on Netflix or getting a takeaway in or anything else within the whole leisure market that's available to me? And all three of those things have an influence on someone's behaviour and affecting behaviour change for different people. And what we do is we focus on the opportunity side of things and on the motivation side of things. So we are helping to make those opportunities available to everyone and make them more accessible so everyone is aware of what there is for them to do and make it easier for them to find those opportunities and then to book onto those opportunities. And in terms of the motivation side of things, it's about reducing the friction in that process, making it as easy as possible for them to do that. If I want to go to the cinema, I can Google this now, I can see all the films that are available to me, all the cinemas that are available, and I can book onto it within a minute, 2 minutes maybe. If I want to book a hotel or a flight, I can see all of the options available to me. There are comparison sites that do this all. They do all the hard work for me. If I want to find a yoga class near where I live, how do I do that? I can search yoga classes near me. It might come up with different leisure sites. It might come up with private operators. It might come up with boutique gyms. It might come up with something that happens at my local church. But I've still then got to go onto each of those separate websites, try and find the timetable, try and find out the right times for me. Right, well, that one doesn't work for me time-wise, and I've got to go to a different one. Oh, but this one's more expensive, or the pricing isn't available, or the descriptions might not be clear. It's not clear to me if this is right for me, what I want to do. Am I an advanced yogi, or am I completely new to this and I can't touch my toes? You don't know. So what we're trying to do is make it as easy as possible for people to find these things. So when they've got that little bit of motivation to start becoming physically active, it's not destroyed as soon as they go and try and find something to do and they realise how difficult it is to do that. Now, we could have just built one big activity finder for everyone in the country to do this, but we don't think that works. It's been tried before. Sporting England tried this with SPOGO, and the reason it didn't work was there are many different types of people. They all have very different life experiences, motivators, blockers to them becoming physically active. So a one-size-fits-all solution doesn't work, and that's not what we're about. We're about making it possible and reducing the barriers to innovation for that to happen for lots of different tools, activity finders, apps, whatever it might be, which each of those will have their own different unique selling point or use case to meet all of the different needs that are available. So what we did is we built standards for everyone to open up their data in the same way. So regardless of what type of activities you run or you publish, they're opened up in the same way. So if I go and I look on, in one session for a yoga class, I know it's this type of yoga class. I know there's going to be a description there that gives me information about whether that's right for me. I know it will have pricing on there if that's right for me. I know if it's relevant for my demographic or if this is for kids. I know if there's difficulty level, all that kind of information. And then we help organisations, so on the left-hand side of here we've got the opportunities. So everyone who is providing those opportunities and the systems that they use to publish those opportunities, we help them to open up that data, and it's in near real-time feeds, so that it can then be used by a variety of different data users that we have here on the motivating side. So as a publisher, you provide the opportunities. As a data user, you are providing the incentives, the motivating aspects to help people to make those decisions and pick an activity to do and find what's right for them. And you can see there are a range of different things on the side here. So you'll have national campaigns like Public Health England's Change for Life. You'll have different booking systems like MoveGB. You'll have different apps that do specific things around target demographics like iPrescribe. And on the opportunity side of things, this is everyone who is providing physical activity opportunities. So you'll have in there leisure operators, you'll have national governing bodies, you'll have independent operators, and so on. There's obviously a huge range within the sector. So what we're talking about here is real-time timetables, essentially. Getting those timetables opened up, it sounds very simple. There's actually a lot of thinking that has to go behind it to make it work and to make it work for everyone. But that is essentially what we're helping organisations to do. And in terms of why we think open data is important, it provides a lot of value to different sectors. So there are a number of different sectors who have used open data recently. You might not have realised that they were using open data, but when I start talking about it, they're like, oh yeah, that rings a bell. So spending on takeaways has grown by 34% between 2009 and 2016. If you want to book a takeaway now, do you Google all the different options that are available to you? Or do you go on Just Eat? Or do you go on Deliveroo? Or do you go on Uber Eats? And you can see everything that's available to you. You can see all the options. You can search by cuisine. You can search by delivery time, all those kinds of things. It makes it easy for you to do that. And we're talking about the same thing within physical activity. Obviously, we prefer people to be physically active than order a takeaway, but healthy balances. A really good example, Transport for London opened up all of bus timetables, train timetables, station facilities, all of that stuff, and they made it open data for anyone to use. Why did they do that? Well, they could have built new and exciting and innovative apps themselves, But did they have the capacity to do that? Were they the experts in doing those sorts of things? No. So they opened it up, and if you take London, I know we're in Manchester today, but if you take London as an example, something like Citymapper, it makes plotting a route and finding what to do really easy and simple for the end consumer. And for Transport for London, it's created £130 million of benefits and savings per year. People are taking more efficient routes, they're able to plot where more demand is, where less demand is, and create efficiencies within their systems, and so on. But we're not just talking about making it as easy to book a squash court or a badminton court or a yoga class as easy as a takeaway or a hotel room. There are new and innovative and exciting uses for this opportunity data, some of which we won't have thought of yet. And there are lots of people out there who want to do these exciting things with that data, but the barriers to access for that data are too high. So we need to reduce the barriers to innovation. So we could be talking about active transport, we could be talking about healthy opportunities, we could be talking about more accessible opportunities for people with disabilities, and so on. We could be talking about social prescribing. There are lots of different areas that we can access through open data.